Sometimes I do take a pen and a paper and analyze things for myself. And then I'm afraid if I write, somebody may not read it. But still I have to store it. I do this. I did it on the flight this time. When I did, as I told you, I'm going through a recovery issue of myself. I did write. And I finally found a way, and I found a way to, again, everything came back to the mind. Whereas when I listed out my issues, and then I wrote, who addresses it? How do I handle it? It just came back to the mind. 9 out of 10 issues were, handle the mind. So what is the mind? The mind is, watch the mind. Mind is, watch the mind. And the mind is so many things. Watch the mind. And that is when meditation helps. Meditation sometimes not only with eyes closed, sometimes with even just looking at your own mind with eyes open, with a pen and a paper, and then finally coming to your own conclusions. So it's a training of your own self. And courses like these do help considerably. Secondly, of course I had more friends than enemies. Oh, I saw friends and friends everywhere. Love, prayer, blessings, friends everywhere. Enemies were very few, that's why they kept losing. But I didn't say, you my friend, you my friend, you are there. Why should they not be my friends when I'm working for them and wishing them well? I don't have to say, you are my friend, register here. It's not a Facebook. I went through the heart book before the Facebook page.
Kiranji, it's a pleasure to meet you again. Met you when you were in New York at the Art of Living Center.
Yes, I did see you.
Yeah. And I also recollect that you have a very good memory because you saw me again and you still remember. Two things. When you were responding to the little girl there, you talked to her about you being your own friend, and your daughter made that comment. She said Kiran Bedi is married to Kiran Bedi.
Correct.
So I think that ties it. The other question is, like my husband already said, what is the difference we can make to India? Because, and I'm coming from the fact that just last week we were in India, and there's a lot of despondency. Like the average middle class who had some hope in things changing, they don't have any hope anymore. So how can we bring back that hope that something different can happen? Because unless, like we have some leader like you, who brings things from the top and also brings it with so much compassion and love, we don't see that change. What appeals about you is you being real. And I think people are not real, and I think that's where everything gets missed. So how do we recultivate the reality? Like being honest, being real. That I think would make a big difference. How can we make that difference?
Think for yourself. What can you do? Each one of you has a potential to do. Each one of you has a heart somewhere. Each one of you wants to do something. I think you basically, once you agree on where do we begin? I guess once you do brainstorm first think for yourself, then create your own small group, either yourself or your small group, and then start doing. You will see the world expanding. You see some of my work it started from a juggi. Today's Navjyoti, the program which I reach out to thousands, it started from a hutment, a juggi. Those faces which you saw, it started from a juggi. Today I have my institutions. It started from there. Begin. It's a beginning of a journey. But as I said, the longest journey begins with the first step. But don't sit down there. Keep taking the next step. Even if it's small. I think I should be nobody to tell you what you do. Ask yourself what is dear to you. Where does your heart lie? Like my heart lies in education. And I do everything for education. My heart lies in creating a whole new generation. I reach out to the children. It creates making them human skilled. I look at vocational skills. I am not into value education because I don't have that spiritual face. So all I can do is give you tools to vocationally skill and get educated and educate in such a way that you become a better human being. But I can't start with the satsang and then vocationally skill them. I skill them and then say अच्छा इंसान बनना. अब अच्छा इंसान जब बनेगा उसको भूख तो लगेगी, वो अच्छी इंसान है ढूंढेगा, वो सत्संग में जाएगा तो अच्छा इंसान बन जाएगा. So instead of starting from satsang to skill, I break it skill to satsang. That's what I do. So what you can do is search for yourself. What can you do on your own? What can you do as friends? What can you do as a group? What can you do as a community? What can you do as a art of living? Keep doing that. Don't always think big. और इतना ज़्यादा मैं इतना से क्या फर्क पड़